Fascism is very gay anyway. I watched the reel.
Però quello che...
E quali sono le norme della religione cristiana che prevalgono?
Sto facendo io una domanda, cioè i ruoli sono ben definiti qui, se mi permette.
Che fa come le puntate dei polizieschi americani?
Cioè?
Quale domande le facciamo solo noi?
No, è che funziona così, in una trasmissione con dei giornalisti e un uomo politico funziona che i giornalisti fanno le domande, i politici rispondono e dicono anche dove trovano i soldi per fare le cose. Quindi
io non faccio il ragioniere,
il politico deve assicurare le coperture di quello che promette.
Sicuramente poi ci sarà qualcuno.
I could have stopped there. A like, an indignant comment, and moved on with my left-wing life. But since I'm not, I looked up the entire interview. Vannacci is right. He was interrupted several times while he was finishing his bullshit arguments, and that can only make him more popular. Cruciani is right then to say that Vannacci is successful and maybe will win thanks to the left-wing sluggards of the limited traffic zone like Aprile and Telese. A conversation devoid of logic. Vannacci talks nonsense, and Aprile doesn't even realize he's defending gangmasters. It's true, yes, it's true, as Vannacci says, that a massive influx of migrants who accept low wages to get by worsens the job market for everyone. This is a discussion I had years ago with a Nigerian friend of mine who went from factory worker to a better, more independent work. If you, newly arrived in this country, change little, you are throwing away years of Italian union gains. But Vannacci's solution is to remove migrants from the scene, hoping that the employer will then have no choice but to pay Italian wealth. This is a point that might convince right-wingers, racists, yes, and maybe even some centrists, but what about paying everyone well, Italians and non-Italians alike? I know that the market, by its very nature, pushes for the cheapest labor possible. But it's precisely for this reason that there are instances in which a state must position itself above the economic power. And it doesn't seem to happen often lately. Damn it. So you see, this is how you dismantle the argument of rampant fascism, in my humble opinion. I repeat, it seems to me that for these two journalists, who undoubtedly have a lot of money, the exploitation of foreigners in the fields is a phenomenon to be taken for granted, inevitable, and perhaps even desirable. I want left-wing figures who propose left-wing solutions to the few real problems identified by the right, who effectively undermine their ideological ground. The right is weak, coward, and hypocritical, because it never truly stands with the people. I'll give you an example of how the right could be divided. I'm addressing you, infamous fascists. Why isn't anyone blaming Vannacci for having started a family with a Romanian? And what about the purity of the Italian blood? He had 2 daughters with them. Don't you think about what could happen if they grow up, don't assimilate, and then do Romanian things? Why aren't you pissed off? Is it because Vannacci's wife is a bit of a hottie? Well, maybe. So, I think fascism is very gay. What's more homosexual than wanting a strong man in charge? It's the ultimate submission. I can accept Meloni as a despot, because at least she's a woman, a mother, and a MILF. But let's face it, loving someone like Mussolini or today Vannacci so much, I don't know what to tell you, my dear youth. It seems a bit not that there is anything wrong with that, but certain things should be done at home, not in the voting booth. Don't like, don't subscribe, don't comment. I'd prefer if you talk about what we discussed here with a friend. Thank you.